Cell phones have become an essential communication tool in today's world. Based off a study conducted by Will Harris, there are two categories of cell phone users that we see today. These two categories have very different attitudes, beliefs, ways of living, and even values. The first type of user is known as the super user. Super users can be described as the more hands-on cell phone user. They are defined also as only owning a mobile phone. They live on it, rely on it, and use it as their primary means of communication. A super user's lifestyle appears to be more acceptable to cell phone usage as they are more connected to society and they are also convinced consumers of the device and more secure users. Super users have adopted well with using a cell phone as they use it as a lifeline to the rest of the world. They use texting constantly, and also super users choose to speak to friends only by text. However, they may be too dependent on their cell phone as they experience some anxiety when their phone is turned off or lost. The second type of user is known as the user. Users are the less hands-on users of cell or mobile phones. Their definition describes them as only owning a mobile or fixed phone. A user's lifestyle appears to be less acceptable to cell phone usage as they are less connected to society, more skeptical about the product, and less secure about using a cell phone or mobile phone. Users use a cell phone only when needed. They choose to speak to family and friends in person, and they are comfortable without their cell phones close at hand. As we viewed the super user and user definitions, lifestyles, values, and beliefs in the previous slides, we found them to be opposite of each other. Due to these differences, it is easy to identify each group as a type of adopter relating to diffusion of innovation. Super users can be identified as early adopters as their traits are comparable to each other. For example, early adopters most likely will adapt to innovation first. They have positive perceptions about using a new innovation, and early adopters are more socially forward. On the other hand, users' characteristics relate to both late majority laggards. For example, late majority laggards tend to be the last to adopt an innovation. These individuals approach an innovation with a high degree of doubt and after most of society has adopted the innovation, and they are most likely to be connected with only family and close friends. After viewing this topic on super users and users, are you able to determine if you are a super user or user, and can you identify with either of the adopter types listed?
Personal computers have become a primary means of communication. Individuals who use computers for communication face increasingly significant security risks through both physical and technological pathways across the globe. Contamination through physical pathways range from direct in-person contamination through receiving infected devices from manufacturers and used devices to contamination through lending out a device. Remote or in-network technological security risk pathways for PCs today range from attacks of direct compromise and eavesdropping to man-in-the-middle attacks. Denning and Kono outline 3 areas of focus for goals to address the growing personal computer security issues. These areas include device goals, digital data goals, and environment goals. Device goals include device privacy, device availability, device operability, command authenticity, and execution integrity. The digital data goals include data privacy, data availability, and data operability. And the environment goals include environment integrity, active pattern privacy, presence privacy, occupant identities, sense data privacy, sensor validity and sensor availability.
Communication has emerged in education significantly. We will further discuss how education and communication are relevant in this study. Technology in education is one form of communication that has emerged significantly. Changes are made frequently. It's easier to access with education with an online class. This allows users to connect all over the world, creates flexibility with the students, creates a different setting of learning, and is typically user-friendly. This is one form of communication that we use in our education, such as this online class. I'm able to record my audio from my home in a group project. There will always be pros and cons in every study. In this study of technology, communication, and education, there are different pros, such as a user can access the content online all over the world. They can also access at their own convenience. They can also establish their own form of communication, such as with this group project. We were able to access on Google Docs, through Blackboard, and other forms of communication. The cons are that it requires users to have technology experience. Users are more prone to plagiarize or cheat, and users abuse the time that is allotted. This is typically not common, but these are cons that do emerge with technology and the communication process. Communication in education has changed significantly with technology. One example I will use is our group project. We were able to access the group with Blackboard, Google Docs, text messaging, and phone calls and email. This was great because we were able to access each of the members in a different way and yet still complete the project in an allotted time. This allowed users to have the freedom to work on the project at their own time. Communication has emerged significantly.
With the invention of the internet, access to information has increased. In 2014, there was a study done on practicing psychotherapists who have had intentional and accidental encounters with their clients on the internet. There have been questions asked, is it ethical to use information that is received without the client's knowledge? In this study, 28% reported accidentally discovering current client information online. 70% reported seeing it on Facebook, 19% on Google, 14% on LinkedIn, 11% shared email lists, 8% blogs, 6% Twitter, and 3% dating sites. 48% of the participants reported intentionally seeking information about current clients in a non-crisis situation without the client's knowledge. 76% reported using Google, while 40% reported using Facebook. Some of the reasons given for intentionally looking up patients were 81% general information related to treatment or verification of details shared in a session. 23% looked to see if a client was part of the clinician's extended social network, and 19% looked for misplaced contact information. Most test subjects reported the information they found helpful and stated no interference with the psychotherapy relationship. However, is it ethical to use personal information from online sources, or is it a violation of trust? This subject warrants further study.
Thank you for viewing and listening to our presentation.